This morning we are driving the 2025 Cadillac Escalade. I figured it would be worth showing you guys what this looks like at night with all the screens, the ambient lighting, etc. We have a 6.2 liter V8 making 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque, a 10-speed automatic transmission, and we've already done a full review on this Cadillac Escalade. If you want to check that out, I'll post a link in the top comment. That was filmed during the day though, and you couldn't quite see all the screens as well in bright sunlight. Tonight, that's not an issue. You may notice my voice is super low. It's early in the morning. I'm nursing a cold. We'll get through this. Let's walk you guys around this real quick, see what it looks like from the outside. Headlights, taillights, all that good stuff. And then we'll take it for a drive and give you guys some night driving impressions. We have these automatically opening doors that kind of assist you with their opening and closing. Soft close, of course. Very nice. 24-inch wheels and some of the smallest brakes that I've ever seen on big wheels. There we go. Look at that. Pretty wild. New Cadillac Escalade is looking pretty good. I like the redesigned front end. The LED light around the Cadillac logo is kind of a neat touch. Taillights, easily recognizable as an Escalade. Kind of iconic at this point. We are in access height mode right now, so it's a little bit lowered. This rides on air suspension. And really the big news here is it is now full of screens for entertainment, for information, for infotainment. Very comfortable, very spacious. Interior lighting, quite good, though I haven't been able to find a way to turn on the lights in the entire cabin aside from just opening the door, which is a bit odd. You have to turn those lights in the front on individually. Like this white interior, tons of space inside this Escalade. Let's open that door again, get some light in here. Kind of strange how the light flickers on. It would be nice if it just came on smoothly. Otherwise, interior lighting in here looks pretty good. If you drop something, it's night, it's dark, you should probably be able to find it when you stop and open the door. Otherwise, I don't know how to turn on the lights in here. You just turn on lights individually. That's about it. Headlight performance, I'd say it's about average. We'll show you guys what that looks like once we get on the road. What about if we open the tailgate here? Yeah, not bad there either. Okay. All of your headlight functionality is right down here in this lower screen. So you can turn your headlights off, auto. There's a headlight reminder. Here are what your brights look like. Honestly, headlight performance in this Escalade is very average. Nothing really that special. The lights don't even turn around a corner. They just kind of illuminate a fog on the right or left side. So for $120,000, I was expecting a little bit better in terms of night driving performance. Before the sun comes up, let's go get some miles on this car in the dark and show you guys what it looks like. Some mixed thoughts on this Escalade this week. It's incredibly comfortable. Transmission tuning is very, very good. Much smoother than some of its counterparts from Chevrolet or GMC, noticeably so. 6.2 liter V8 sounds good, goes well. We have a 2-speed transfer case here, 2 high, 4 auto, 4 high, 4 low, air suspension. This can kind of do it all. It'll take you, your family, your friends around in luxury and class. It'll tow. Gets not the best fuel economy, about 14 in the city, 18 on the highway. Everything inside this Cadillac Escalade is controlled through the screen. So if you want to open up the glove box, right there. The screen's got to be on to do that. You can't open the glove box with the car off, which is a bit of a shame. Wireless charging, cup holders, great big cool box, refrigerator, that's nice. Good amount of storage space here, but again, everything is just behind these displays. So whether you like that, you appreciate a tech-forward interior, honestly, this is one of the easier screenified interiors that I've lived with and spent time in recently. The ergonomics are still quite good. There's lots of physical controls, albeit the steering wheel controls are all haptic. And down here, everything is laid out well, though maybe not as attractively as some of the competition from the Germans or even Hyundai. I think Hyundai has better graphics than what Cadillac has managed to do here. Some of the screens look okay, like this. That's pretty attractive. Fan speed, your heated seats and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, all work well. You get a back heater as well as a butt heater. Appreciate that. That's always nice to have. We've got some quick access controls here for our high beams, our lights. What else do we have? Yeah, park assist, head-up display, glove box release. There's lots of redundancy stuff here. You turn on your lane keep assist here, and then quick access to your cameras. At night, those work well. No complaints there. High resolution, not grainy. Cameras look good at night. Cool. You've also got this rotating dial down here with a Cadillac logo on it. Quick access controls for your navigation, whatever app you're in, whether it's Waze or Google Maps and CarPlay. And yes, this still does have CarPlay. Appreciate that. Infotainment is super responsive. And then one of my favorite things about GM and what they do for night driving is they give us a dimmer switch. So we can crank this all the way up and lower it all the way down, and it dims everything. Every screen, every button, every switch. Look at that. You have a mid mode for kind of right about now when the sun's just coming up. And then you can turn the display off with just a flick of that switch, and everything pretty much dims down to basically nothing. Love it. In my Camaro, it actually turns off most things and just shows you your gauge cluster, which is very cool. All right, let's go back into CarPlay. CarPlay usually is a brighter app at night, and this is looking pretty good. Really, my only major complaint with these displays is that they just don't seem to be integrated as well as they could be, given their size and their prominence in the interior from a design standpoint. They're just not that attractive. They're kind of bland. But if you're into that whole minimalist vibe, this is what that is. Ride quality on the 24s it's pretty good. You hit some bumpier roads. It gets a little bit busy, but you're never, disturbed in this Cadillac Escalade. It's always a very smooth driving experience. Handling is quite good. Put it in sport mode, this thing goes around a corner surprisingly well, and the V8 really does make a good noise. A few little shakes and rattles from the seats in the back. That's no major surprise with a big 3-row SUV, but there are a few sounds here from the screens and the dashboard up front. You might be able to hear that during our drive today. I'm going to turn down my heated seats as I am just getting roasted. Seating position. Tons of adjustment here. Steering wheel, same story. In pitch dark conditions, not very impressed with headlight performance here. I think for the money, it would warrant slightly better visibility. It's acceptable, it's fine, but it's no different or better than any other modern vehicle on the road. Let's change our drive mode. We're gonna go into sport. We'll get us turned around, avoid the construction. we also get a digital rear view mirror, which helps a lot with rearward visibility. Steering is just about the right weight. Watch out for little bunny. And the V8 does make a good noise. All right, we have a few different gauges here that we can look at as well. So, what do we need for night driving? Well, we have Google Maps, probably kind of redundant given that we have Waze going on here. We have CarPlay, which we can show Waze again. That's kind of neat. Zoomed in so you can see it. Driving assistance, okay? And then, look at this, night vision. I always like a night vision camera because it allows you to see wildlife. This has been a feature on the Cadillac Escalade for a long time, so it's nothing new, but it is kind of cool. Made it. Let's go out into the country, see if we can spot any animals. And then there's an AR camera, which is kind of cool too, because if you have the navigation running, it'll show you augmented reality. Or you can just use the screen to drive, which is kind of sketchy. All right, again, we're in sport mode. Pretty flat around a corner. Surprising levels of mechanical grip here. 55 miles an hour on this entrance ramp. We are in 4 high. And this absolutely bangs upshifts. It sounds good. To be honest, for its intended audience, for the buyer of this Cadillac Escalade, I think Cadillac has probably come up with a pretty good package here. There are some things that I think they could improve. They could offer a little bit better value, but the Escalade, to be honest, has never been a value proposition. It's always been expensive. It's been a fashion statement. It's been something that you wear. If you wanted to save some money and get good value out of your big 3-row SUV, you'd go out and buy a Suburban or a Tahoe or even a GMC. But that's not what the Escalade is. All right, let's go back to night camera. You can see how warm people's tires are on their morning commute, their exhaust temperatures, all that stuff. Oh, and then I almost forgot, we have Super Cruise. We showed this during our day drive as well. But... oh yeah, and I actually just turned on low mode because that's a button that's right there on the steering wheel for some reason. Super Cruise is engaged. Look at that. Beautiful. Super Cruise is a fantastic system. It works really well. You can set it to auto lane change, pass traffic on its own, or lane change at your indication. That's what I have set. We'll cancel everything and exit the highway here. Paddle shifters are only functional when you put it into low mode. And even then, they're just a suggestion. It'll upshift when it feels like it, and it'll mostly downshift when you request it. That said, this isn't the Escalade V. It's not trying to be. It still handles, goes, sounds quite good. Braking performance leaves a little bit to be desired. Something that I've noticed in a lot of GM vehicles, maybe it's the brake compound that they're using, but there just isn't as much bite as I would like out of the braking system here. All right, sun is coming up. Roads are getting a little bit brighter, lighter. We have a 36 speaker AKG sound system here. Sounds amazing. We did a sound system test in our previous review, so you guys can go check that out if you're interested. It sounds fantastic. Kind of bass heavy, but a really good audio system. One of these audio systems that I want to just sit in this Escalade and listen to it all day long. Definitely a highlight of this SUV. Ultimately, this is the same formula we've seen from the Cadillac Escalade for quite a while now, just with more screens. It drives about the same, feels about the same. We've got similar features. If you want the latest and greatest, and you can afford the price increases on these, this has been a great vehicle to live with this week. Vehicle lowering. Very nice. Let's walk you guys around this one more time. Ambient lighting's a little bit dim. I don't know if there is a way to go in and change that. Ambient lighting.
There's ambiance lighting, Inc. 431 miles away. Want to navigate there?
No, that is no. That is not at all what I said or meant. Let's see here. Vehicle. Comfort and convenience. Lighting. Exterior choreography. Dynamic. I don't really know if we have many lighting controls for the interior. Settings in this seem to be a little bit sparse. There's not many gauge cluster options. You can't really see fuel economy unless if you go into a dedicated fuel economy screen. It's all a little bit too minimalist for my taste.
Oops, something went wrong.
That's okay. We'll forgive her. I was just talking to her. What about off-road mode? How high does this get when lifted up? There it goes. That actually looks pretty good. Grill lighting surround is cool. Yeah, that's some ground clearance. If you want to off-road your Escalade on 24s, off-road mode will get you there. Go back into tour. Intuitively pressing the L button instead of the set resume button for cruise control. I don't know why that was put there. That could be put anywhere else on the stock, somewhere where it would need to be used, like over here. Very strange placement. It is important real estate on a steering wheel, and it's kind of a strange decision to put it there, honestly. like that you can quickly change 5-mile-an-hour increments when you don't press the L button. It's just a kind of a double press button on the steering wheel. And it looks like Super Cruise even works in some back roads. That's kind of a surprise. Love this gearbox. Escalade is no longer offered with a 3-liter turbo diesel, just the 6.2-liter V8. What do you guys think? A little 0 to 60 here? Why not? No one's behind us. We're in 4-wheel drive auto. That's American luxury. To be honest, I think I was a little bit more impressed with the Navigator the last time we drove one. It just felt like you were getting a little bit more specialness. This seems to rely too heavily on the screens. The dashboard material is nice. This wood grain is beautiful. And the fabric on the doors is cool. But everywhere else, it's not blowing me away. And that's kind of how I've always felt about the Cadillac Escalade. I thought for the money, for being their flagship luxury SUV, they should just offer a little bit more differentiation, a little bit more separation, and an improvement over their Chevrolet and GMC counterparts. It's definitely here. They've tried with this huge screen, but everyone has this these days. All of that said, however, it is important to assess and review a vehicle according to its intended purpose, its intended buyer, who's going to be buying these vehicles. And honestly, the customer who buys these doesn't really care too much about money. They're just kind of they want the best. And from GM, this is the best they offer. And there's a lot to like here. It drives well. It's not too huge and cumbersome feeling on the road. Sometimes you get into a full-size SUV like this, and it's just so massive you can't really take it anywhere. This, it's okay. It's easy to drive. It has good sight lines, decent visibility, except for the rear window, which is blocked by another screen. But it helps you out. And as a vehicle to live with that is very tech-focused and screenified, it actually works pretty well. Everything, all the ergonomics, everything's laid out very easily. I can access all the functionality I need to pretty quickly through the screens. They're very responsive, some of the most responsive screens I've used in 2025. So again, credit where credit is due. Cadillac has done a good job with some aspects of this Escalade. I just wish they would take it a little bit farther, give us a little bit more for the money. Ultimately, if I were spending $125,000 on this, I would just swing for the V, pay $160, and get something that will, tickle my fancy a little bit more and be a little bit more raucous and exciting. Maybe hold its value a bit better too. Who knows? Still, that's a lot of money for an SUV of this type, but that's the space that we're in, at least in today's video. So, hopefully you guys have enjoyed that POV night drive. If you haven't already, go check out our day drive and full review on this Cadillac Escalade. We talk a little bit more in detail about the features, specs, info, etc. And you guys get to see what this car looks like in broad daylight, in the sun, instead of in darkness. That's it for this one. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.